Huawei has just launched its new Nova 9 SE, which is a mid-range smartphone priced affordably at 13,999 pesos. And with that price tag comes the company's first 108-megapixel lens for high-resolution photography even in low-light conditions. You've probably seen our full review on it where we talked about its performance as a whole, but if you still haven't, you may do so through this link somewhere here. Anyway, for this video, we'll go for a deeper dive into its camera features, and to make things even more interesting, we'll compare its camera performance against a similarly priced smartphone, the Samsung Galaxy A32. Excited to see the results? So am I. Hey guys, Kevin here, you're with the Modern Creatures and welcome to another video. This is our Huawei Nova 9 SE versus Samsung Galaxy A32 camera comparison. So with both of these phones priced similarly, of course, let's go ahead and check out how they compare against each other in terms of specs. The most obvious difference when it comes to camera specs is the fact that the Nova 9 SE comes with a whopping 108-megapixel main lens compared to the 64-megapixel main of the Galaxy A32. Now don't get me wrong, a 64-megapixel sensor on a smartphone is more than enough for your day-to-day casual snaps, but obviously the Nova 9 SE just goes for that extra mile of attempting to capture as much details as possible to produce sharper images. Another thing to take note of is the sensor size. The Nova 9 SE comes in larger at 1 in 1.52 inches versus Galaxy A32's at 1 in 1.97 inches. In photography or videography, the bigger your camera sensor is, the more light it can receive so as to produce better images in low light situations. We'll talk more about photo quality of both phones in just a bit. Moving on, let's talk about software. The Nova 9 SE boasts its 9-in-1 pixel technology that combines data once you take a photo and forms an ultra-large pixel to produce better images. I know, it kinda sounds complicated, but it basically has a more advanced way of achieving brighter shots. For comparison, the Galaxy A32 only has a 4-in-1 pixel binning technology that in theory should produce decent low-light shots, but Huawei's 9-in-1 pixel tech should prove better. And since we're talking about imaging in general, recording videos or videography is also something that we'll take a look at. For starters, the Samsung Galaxy A32 comes with 120 frames per second slow motion capture that produces buttery smooth clips, great for adding drama to your shots. The Huawei Nova 9 SE doesn't have this feature, so you're limited to shooting at a regular frame rate. But that's pretty much the Galaxy A32 can boast to the Nova 9 SE, since both are similar in video capabilities, except for a few unique tricks Huawei has up its sleeve. The Nova 9 SE lets you easily switch from shooting using the rear camera to its front sensor, so focusing on a subject and recording your reaction afterwards is an easy thing to accomplish. Or if you want to record both the subject and your reaction simultaneously, the phone's dual view video or continuous front and rear recording is able to do just that. You even have different choices of what kind of layout you prefer for this shooting mode. This is technically not a new feature, but one that is commonly seen in premium high-end devices and not in this price range. Meanwhile, the competitor doesn't have these features and sticks with the usual functions and shooting modes you'd expect of a mid-range device. I personally don't think that Samsung is skimping on giving its users these features. It's just that Huawei understands what its users need, what its users want, and gives them exactly that. And today's generation is more on the vlogging or the content creation scene, which is similar to what we're doing. So with features like these, I think this is a smart move for Huawei since it's aimed more specifically at its target market, which basically are today's youth. And finally, in terms of the front sensor, the Nova 9 SE comes with a modest 16-megapixel selfie camera versus the Galaxy A32's 20-megapixel lens. And now that we're done with this tale of the tape of sorts, let's put these two phones to use and bring their features out for real-world usage. For this mini test, Vika will be helping me and she'll use the Samsung Galaxy A32 while I grab the Huawei Nova 9 SE. We'll be using both phones and shooting at different parts of the day using all its shooting modes and features. By the end of our awesome montage, we should be ready to compare photos taken by both phones. And with that, let the awesome montage begin. Okay, that was fun, but now we have enough photos and videos to compare and show you guys. Let's first begin with their main cameras used outdoors in bright light. Both phones produced clear and sharp images, but you'd notice that the Galaxy A32 has more vibrant colors compared to the Nova 9 SE. This is very Samsung in a way that its algorithm boosts saturation and sharpness. Because of Samsung's processing, zooming in on the images will easily reveal artifacts or digital noise. Meanwhile, for the Nova 9 SE, colors are not that vibrant but retain more details when scaled up. Photos from the Nova 9 SE's main shooter also look more natural. Switching to ultra-wide mode, the Galaxy A32 has a wider field of view so you can fit more elements into the frame. This will be advantageous overall if you're fond of shooting landscapes and cityscapes. Again, photos from the Galaxy A32 appear more vibrant and sharpened, which are okay most of the time. I just found the limitation of its wide angle when two opposing exposures are in one frame. It can only compensate for either the light or dark area, unlike the Nova 9 SE that can take the same photo and have better dynamic range for different areas of the image. Meanwhile, for digital zoom, both support 10 times magnification, but I would say the Galaxy A32 has a bit more detail intact than the Nova 9 SE. But either way, I personally don't find much use with photos taken with 10 times zoom. But I guess it's nice that it's there for whenever the time comes that you need it. When it comes to portrait photography, the Nova 9 SE produces nice bokeh effects with decent cutouts of subjects. I just noticed that when you set the effect to maximum, the Nova 9 SE has harder edges compared to the Galaxy A32 with a bit more feathering or gradient cutouts. Although this is a bit subjective and actually depends on your preference. But in terms of skin tone and detail for these portrait shots, I personally prefer shots taken by the Nova 9 SE. Moving on to low light performance, I think we have a clear winner in terms of bringing out more details. The Nova 9 SE's 9-in-1 pixel tech is evidently at work here and was able to maintain decent exposure for different areas of each shot. Meanwhile, the Galaxy A32 also did well, but was not able to bring out other details seen from photos taken by the Nova 9 SE. But if you've edited photos before, you'd know that bringing out more details from the dark can easily bring out digital noise as well, and that's what's noticeable in some of Huawei's shots. For selfies, the difference in pixel count isn't easily seen and both produce detailed images when shooting outdoors with bright light. The Nova 9 SE's exposure tends to be on the brighter side though, so you get brighter selfies by default. At night, the selfie camera of Galaxy A32 shows more details, but I prefer how the Nova 9 SE has a wider lens to fit more people in for group selfies. Before we move on, I just want to quickly talk about Huawei's AI mode and Samsung's Scene Optimizer. In essence, they both function the same way of analyzing the current shot and adjusting their values so as to capture images in their best possible settings. Both have worked well for the two phones and were able to switch to the correct settings for certain shooting instances. For the photo set, the two phones produced impressive images, but the Nova 9 SE retained more details for its main camera and comes with a more natural look overall and not just in colors. When it comes to low light photos, the Nova 9 SE proved that its 9-in-1 pixel tech does bring out more details, which is perfect for capturing content even after the sun sets. Now, when it comes to video recording, I would say the Nova 9 SE has better auto exposure as it's able to maintain better details in light and dark areas of our videos. Although, the video stabilization of the Galaxy A32 is a lot better than the Nova 9 SE's. It does produce warping but is overall easier on the eyes than the Nova 9 SE's shaky footage. And as mentioned earlier, the Galaxy A32 can also shoot slow motion videos, which the Nova 9 SE couldn't do. But this is pretty much where the advantages end for the Galaxy A32, since the Nova 9 SE comes with more features. Huawei has equipped this phone with handy tools like being able to instantly switch from using the rear cameras to the front selfie camera, so you can record the subject and your reaction right after without having to turn the phone around. The Nova 9 SE also comes with dual video recording, so you can record videos using the rear and front cameras simultaneously. For the Nova 9 SE, I can shoot with the rear and the front at the same time. I can have both rear cameras recording, so you have a wider field of view on the right side and the main camera on the left, so you can see two different field of views depending on what you're shooting. Having these tools in your arsenal can unlock new and unique ways for you to create content even without a dedicated camera. I personally think that equipping the Nova 9 SE with such features can help today's young generation create content a lot easier. I just wish I had this phone years ago. And as a way of wrapping this video up, we see that the Huawei Nova 9 SE carries a number of advantages against a similarly priced smartphone like the Samsung Galaxy A32. It has a more natural look and color, performs a lot better in low light situations, and has more details thanks to its 108 megapixel sensor. Overall, I would say the Samsung Galaxy A32 covers the basics of photography and videography with a versatile set of cameras and natural looking colors. But the Huawei Nova 9 SE was able to cover the bases plus offer more options for its users who are youthful and energetic. And with that in mind, the company was able to cater to those who are into vlogging and content creation more effectively by targeting the online habits of today's youth, like its low light prowess for those nightlife snaps, dual view video for a fresh style, and more. At the end of the day, the Nova 9 SE is a phone that's not afraid to stand out of the norm, as we've seen with its 108 megapixel main sensor, and with it offers to equip users with tools to make content creation easier and fun. The two phones we have here today almost share the exact price, but if you find yourself leaning more into content creation, the Huawei Nova 9 SE would be a better choice since it carries more features geared towards vlogging and the likes. And that's about it for our Huawei Nova 9 SE versus Samsung Galaxy A32 camera comparison. As always, visit our website and follow us on our social media pages for more news, features, and reviews. Once again, that's it for me. I'm Kevin. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.